My son has Down syndrome and has been diagnosed to be on the autism spectrum. He will turn 6 this year. I have a lot to thank my son for teaching me patience and resilience, for making me the person I am. He has also opened my eyes to a whole community of people with different abilities and families who support them. The more I learn about the diverse range of disabilities, the more I realize that there is a lot I do not know. One of the many things I'm still learning is the appropriate terminology to use at times, and I beg for indulgence. There are some specific needs within each disability group. There's a different range of abilities and therefore a differing potential amongst the PWDs. There are also different dynamics among the advocates and activists, which may lead to uneven awareness and support structures for different disability groups. I'm therefore grateful that the government has taken a massive effort to put together different pieces and come up with the concept of the Enabling Master Plan. I'm heartened with the existing programs in place to address the various needs of PWDs and their families. It is encouraging to see the developments of the Enabling Master Plan over the years. There are, however, some areas which I would like to find out more about and have some views on. Firstly, in light of the spectrum of disabilities mentioned above, I would like to find out how we could ensure that the needs of various groups are meaningfully addressed. How are the efforts in addressing needs categorized and organized, and is there some sort of framework to assess if we're adequately filling the gaps? My concern is, while the broad efforts go some way to advance the interests of the PWDs as a community, we may miss out specific issues that may only affect a particular group. For example, even within the PWIDs, there are different levels of abilities. So when we talk about lifelong learning and preparing them to live independently, could there be a final resolution that could maximize the potential of each group? I'm not expecting the government to do everything or for things to be done immediately. There needs to be a whole of society effort and involvement, a point which I will touch on later, but I believe it would be meaningful for a framework that dives into specifics for different groups, assessing how successful some measures are, addressing what the challenges are, and continually developing the infrastructure of support for the PWDs and their families. Secondly, I would like to know if there could be more streamlining of some services and support for both the PWDs and their family members. Akin to the approach in our child and maternal health and well-being efforts, could we also look at streamlining some services that could make it easier for families to manage the care of the PWDs? I'd spoken about Dr. Chen Shiling in my previous speeches. Dr. Chen had developed a holistic healthcare approach for aging caregivers and their adult children with ID, addressing also social issues and bringing together multidisciplinary stakeholders on the same platform. She has now set up a clinic, IDHealth, that focuses on medical care of not just the PWIDs, but also their caregivers. Could we take a leaf from this approach and apply it to various other services? I note that SG Enable has also already been playing a role in being the one-stop spot for PWDs and their families. How has this experience been, and are there enhancements we can expect? Lastly, I feel it is imperative to harness the resources and support from the community. I believe the government can play a role to create the platform or structures to encourage ground-up effort. The formation of the AFA for caregivers of persons with disabilities, for example, is encouraging. How do we sustain this and provide the necessary platforms for more people to come together? I do hope to see more in our community step up to offer time or resources so that together we can help to enhance support for PWDs and their families. Next card.